I know a lot of people use psilocybin to microdose, and or other people use marijuana to you do a little before working out, and it gives them like that their they it puts them in the zone. How do you feel about using that kind of stuff prior to your workouts or during or like what have you?
I wouldn't. Well, the microdose thing is like if you do it, you're always going to feel the calming effects of it and stuff. So it's not like a pre-workout. You just take it as you should, and then when your workout comes around, you're just in a better mood. The marijuana, guys here, there's some guys here that get high as fuck. I don't know how, because I go into vertigo and I have to crawl in a corner when I smoke weed. It messes me up.
Me
I
too.
don't do
Yeah.
it. These guys get blazed and come in here and have the best workouts. I'm like, how in the hell can you do that? I mean, if the results are there and everything's looking good, go for it, dude. But I can't do that. I can't drive. I can't do anything when I'm high. I have to sit at home. It's some of the gummies aren't so bad. Like I take them to sleep. Very occasionally, like maybe once a month, I might take one to go to bed. But smoking it, oh god, fucks me up. I get bad vertigo. My head starts spinning. I can't. I just gotta lay down, so I can't do it. But I mean, people do it and it helps you have a better workout and everything's working. If the results are there, don't deny it. Go for it within the law, I guess you could say.
I've noticed that more and more frequently now. I hear of people doing a lot of psilocybin, microdosing psilocybin, and it's been helping them put them in a better headspace to work out or like whatever. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. That's
Because you're
cool.
not holding on to the small shit when you do it. I've noticed a lot of little things that make people mad, which is like irrelevant stuff, little triggers, are better when you do microdose it. So if you're not in the back of your head thinking all this shit pissing you off of what he says, she said, and you're working out, of course you're gonna have a better workout. So I can understand that. I think that's the future for mental health, chilling people out, PTSD. I think psychedelics are going to be the future for that stuff, honestly.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, we are good, and welcome back, everybody, to a new edition of Paradise Pump. Here you can see we have myself, Mel, and Jed.
Yeah. I thought of something the
All
other
right,
day
cool.
while I was driving home. There was this thicker girl running, and she was wearing those moon boots that you see out now, where they little bouncy things on your
Yeah.
feet. And I know people on the internet are giving the people that use those a lot of shit. I think I saw a meme. It was a bunch of girls wearing them in a class that said something like, "Girls will do anything to work out except work out." But then I thought, let's say she uses those and goes outside running and drops like 10 pounds and gets her confidence enough to go up into a gym or go somewhere. Then I wouldn't see it as such a bad thing. It's like CrossFit. Like a lot of people dog CrossFit. I'm not very big on it because they're not big in teaching form. It's just go, go, go from the stuff I've seen. But it gets somebody off the couch and gets them at least started to where they go off into something else. I don't, I'm okay with that. You know, I mean, we've seen so many trends
Fads, trends, yeah.
from the '90s. Like you remember the damn ab blaster, like where it was like this triangle
Yeah,
thing you would
you
just
put
pull
it
and
to
crunch, and they're like, get abs in like 2 months or whatever, just using this and nothing else. And it's like, God, come
and then
on,
the
man.
ab rocker or the ab roller, and yeah,
There was
so
an
many
era where
fads
all
and
ab stuff was coming out.
yeah.
Like the one you held between your legs, it was Suzanne Summers promoted, and you'd crunch down. It had the resistance bands on it.
Yeah.
I've seen so many crazy trends come and go.
And they always in marketing, they use the sexy ass people to do it. They don't got no fat person trying to do these ab roller, ab machine,
No,
ab exercise stuff. Fuck dieting. Just get this machine. It'll help get you abs.
yeah, it's Then we had the period that's still kind of going on of the fad diets, where there was all these types of diets coming out that people were trying to follow. Where
Atkins diet, the Shintani diet,
you
the
remember
Oprah
the
Winfrey
Hollywood
Weight
diet where you
Watchers
bought that
diet.
liquid shit and you would drink it for like 5 days and just fast. They'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I lost 10 pounds." Yeah, 'cause you hadn't eaten in
And
five
then that
days.
slimming tea diet, man, that
Yeah,
thing is so bad for you. People don't realize that, but hey, whatever's.
everybody's trying to find a loophole
Magic pill.
and it doesn't work. But you can't really knock the companies because they're making millions off of
Oh
it,
heck yeah.
off of everybody's gullibility. I guess you would call it that.
Man, if I was that intelligent to create something and market it and make millions, I'm not gonna lie, whether or not it serves a good purpose, I made my millions. I'm riding off into the sunset with my millions.
But there's some good ones. I mean, the P90X was pretty good.
It was.
I had guys that would come to me and they lost like 40 pounds doing P90X, but they didn't know where to go from there. So then I'd get them on another program. Like I'm not knocking that. I mean, you made a change and you got your ass off the couch, started doing something. Now you're looking to go to the next level. That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
all of it is they're great tools. Zumba, Taibo, all of that stuff. It's all good.
Yeah, I wonder how much Billy Blanks made off of Taibo because that was huge too.
Heck yeah.
The Zumba, yeah, people still do that.
I think so. It's fun. It's entertaining. What's that other guy? The one that Sean, the dancer, he created like that dance form of like cardio.
I don't know.
Oh, but anyway, he's a dancer and he got into men's physique and bodybuilding or men's classic bodybuilding, and he tried to do like this dance episode in his
Yeah, I
routine,
remember
and
that.
everybody else are like, bro, tone it down a little bit. However, back to the whole shoes thing.
Yeah,
It's funny you say because doom scrolling on Instagram, I came across this one thing, this one video, these this physical therapist guy, I think he was talking about what shoes are good or not good for like running, especially because like that big open toe, no box, no drop, and all of this other stuff. I mean, yes, very conducive for bodybuilding or powerlifting and all of that other stuff. And then a lot of the runners were chiming in was like, bro, we can tell you don't run no 10 miles a day to understand how running shoes actually is beneficial for us runners. Like you
yeah.
don't see you don't see runners running in those like what is those like those
The flat soled.
yeah, the flat sole, the
Yeah,
Vivos and all of that other stuff, right?
yeah. I mean, those are. I like flat soled shoes on training because
Mm-hmm.
I have flat feet. So, but for if you're trying to do distance running, no, I don't think they'd be beneficial at all.
Yeah. So that therapist guy he was saying, but that's what you want to do. You want to build your foot muscles so that you can do it without needing these running shoes. And that was my thing with social media as well, where I felt I'm like, man, everybody's got some shit to say, and it's perspective.
Yeah.
What purpose does buying those shoes serve? If it serves your purpose, that's great. Use it.
Well, somebody can come up with any theory or technique, whether it's right or wrong. You now have access to billions of people around the world. You'll find enough people that will agree with you to where you'll think it's justified.
And enough people who will disagree, and everybody has some shit to say. So like one of my things as well too, you see a lot of IFBB pros, they're they got to that level for a reason, and you got these amateurs or these posing coaches or coaches that are critiquing like this IFBB pro on their shit. It's like, what, he's a pro, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Um, there's people, I don't know if I'll say his name, but there's people that have made YouTube channels that are not bodybuilders and they've made a fortune just critiquing bodybuilders. It's like, what prerequisites do you have to even voice an opinion? You know, I mean, some people may get it right and they may just be big fans and follow the sport for a while and stuff. I understand that. But yeah, some like I said, there's so many people out there you have access to. You'll find enough people that agree with you to justify it.
There was another Instagram post that I saw, I forgot who, but they were talking about the different styles of from the early 1900s, the bodybuilder types before steroids was introduced, and their training. I want to find it out. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was pretty freaking cool. Their training type pre-steroids, what their body looked like, and into the evolution of what we have now today. And they talked about like all of these elite athletes, how they had different training training types, and what worked for them may not have worked for others. And people are critiquing, like, especially using science back things to say, like, oh, range of motion or time under tension or like all of these things. I mean, you kind of got to try them all to actually see what works. It's not like one size fits all.
Yeah. And the science people, there's science and then there's what works. Like somebody may know a technique or way of training that the science doesn't say would be beneficial, but if that dude does it and he's growing, then obviously it's working. We just haven't found the reason why it works yet. You know, so many people are built so different, have different hormone levels and different genetics and stuff. Like for instance, my when I train my chest and I do presses, I noticed here recently I have to go wide, like my hand has to be a little bit outside the elbow, which a lot of people don't do. But when I do that, I feel a stretch. I get a pump in the chest. So the argument may be, well, what about getting the full contraction? Well, that's what the fucking fly movements are for. So that's how I break it down. But you see a lot of people that bring their grip in and try to get a full contraction on the chest on a press and not concentrating on the loaded stretch. Now, people hearing this will be on one side or the other side of the argument. But if I'm training like that and I'm feeling better with it and getting a better response, and that's what I'm going to go with, regardless of what fucking science says.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've seen people on Instagram that will show exercises and stuff, and then I'll try it and I'll be like, I didn't feel that shit at all. But this dude's arm may have been shorter than mine, and it could have worked this way for him. And you just can't knock everything. But there's speaking of this, I'm gonna go off on a fucking
Yeah,
side
yeah.
quest. You guys that are coming in here and doing all this critique, like technical training stuff, when you don't even have a foundation, just stop. I see these guys that are like a buck 60 at best, turning sideways, doing presses because they want to build their inner chest. You ain't got no chest. Like bench squat deadlift, like get the compound movements in and grow, and then see where your body's naturally growing more than others and start critiquing after that. These guys, they don't have a foundation and they're not like even national level bodybuilders, and they're doing all these little critique movements and stuff to critique muscles that aren't there. And I just had this conversation with somebody the other day because you'll see people training with cables and doing all this stuff. And it's like, if you're not injured and you're especially anywhere from 19 to like maybe early 30s and you're healthy, you need to train, like do some heavy
Healthy
weights.
and injury free.
Yeah. Like, don't go off of what the 50-year-old's doing to maintain the muscle that he built doing what you should have been doing in your 20s. Because he probably did all that compound stuff early and built that muscle. Now he's just keeping it there because he's on his, not downhill, but he's like done. He just wants to keep what he got. But then somebody will see a big guy doing that. I think that's how they got the muscle. And that's not how it works. It just same with dieting too. I was just watching this podcast the other day where they were talking about how everybody in their 20s when they're trying to get big, they have to go through a stage of where they just put on ridiculous amount of weight, even just eating and eating, and they have to get used to holding that weight so that when they put on the muscle, the body gets used to it, right? But you listen to some of these guys that are at the top, what they're doing now may not always be what got them there. You have to think about that.
Yep.
Yeah, I do 3 sets of 10, twice a week on squats or whatever the hell it is. But they didn't tell you about doing 25 reps with 4 plates, pause reps, and dropping and all this stuff when they were younger, building those muscles up. So that's something people need to think about before they just start jumping on the bandwagon or copying every single thing they see on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. You make a really, really great point. People think and they look at like Sebum and they're like, yeah, he's doing it that way. That's probably what got him there. I'm gonna copy his whatever training regimen. But they quickly forget. Like, what about all of those days and hours and times, years that he's put into the gym to get to where he is? And now he's at this point of maintenance. So,
It's like me being 180 and trying to get big, and I see Ronnie Coleman saying he's eating 600 grams of protein a day, so I immediately jumped to 600 grams of protein a day. Dude, just gonna get fat. Because if you're eating that with the carbs, with the fats and everything, it's just not going to work out for you. You're going to get backed up. Now, if you start at a little under half that, and then as you get bigger, increase the food, that's a better tactic. But some people say, well, he does this, so I got to do this tomorrow. It's like you're not 290 shredded.
Yeah.
You got to take into fact like what his body type, what his his composition is, and all this stuff. And if you don't match that, you probably shouldn't jump to what he's doing now. You know.
I mean, we're sitting here with our opinion as well too. I don't know.
Hmm.
That's why I advise for everybody. If that's what works for you, great. If it doesn't, like, uh, you got to figure it out. Keep doing something. But what you're doing is not enough to move the needle, or maybe you're doing too much. And then in your off season, your weight gain is way too much, and like packed on excessive amount of fat. And then when you try to diet down for a show, you just end up looking the same, or if not worse.
See, I talked about it last week. You
Yep.
see that they'll just get fat, and they got to do all this work to get back to what they just were looking like at the previous contest. No improvement whatsoever. So in the judges' eyes, they see no change. And in your head, you're like, well, I got up to like 250 this offseason. You still came down to like 190 that you were at the last contest, looking no different. So the gains have to be quality, and people, this whole dirty bulk and all this shit, I don't hear much about that anymore, thank God. I mean, the shit food has its place, but just eating fast food 3 or 4 times a day because you think you're trying to get bigger, it's not going to work. It's not going to work as well as doing it properly.
Yeah. And then, talking about healthily eating fast food, I mean, you might want to check your blood lipid levels and all of that other good stuff, eating greasy, quick, instant food and stuff. So, speaking of diet and health and so on and so forth, for the people that are, I think a good age, 30, your late 30s into your 40s, especially if you want to compete. Like, I keep on saying it all the time. I think it's imperative that you go get proper blood work, not just from your primary care um doctor, but from like a place, like, I am not sponsored by these people, but a place like Transcend or Merrick Health. And especially if you're an athlete wanting to do this stuff, I mean, your hormones and your everything else, especially with the crap that they put in our food and water and air and everything else, um, call it what it is, but our hormones are kind of jacked up. Digestion might be kind of jacked up as well too. We just got through talking about that, and you can't dig a hole to fill up a hole. You're only digging up more holes. So I highly suggest for you people,
You're
yeah,
putting more water in the bucket, not plugging the holes.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. People nearing in your 40s that want to compete or get on this health thing, really go check your hormone levels.
Yeah. And I speaking of the food thing, I had a guy, may have said this before, he couldn't get his glucose down no matter what we did. He moves to Europe, gets back on the diet, perfect numbers, eating the same shit. That was enough to convince me that the quality of food's different than it is here.
Oh, definitely. I've traveled very many countries in my lifetime, and there's a big difference in the quality of food from America in comparison to other places as well too. So I've personally experienced it. So says a lot about American food.
Yeah. And same with eating the bread and the carbs and stuff over there. People eat it and not have any issues. Then come over here and eat it and they get bloated and
Bread,
watery.
the dairy, all of it.
Yeah. I think part of it is there's not big mass I don't think there's a lot of mass production farms there. It's all I've had people tell me that a lot of it's localized per village, per town. Each everybody got a busher and got people at farm and stuff. And you go to the market and a lot of it's like fresh from the ground and stuff like that. And that has a lot to do with it. It hasn't been processed through all these steps. Like here, we have a handful of farms that provide the meat for the entire country. God knows what happens to it in between killing the
Oh
animal
yeah.
and getting here. I mean, back home, I think we still have local butchers back home. And if you do and you have the money, that would be the way to go with getting your meat. Just go to a local butcher and get it.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have to buy the whole cow. You can split it with your neighbors or
Yeah,
a few people.
or go kill some deer. Deer meat's awesome. Moose tastes really good too.
Oh yeah, moose is awesome as well too.
I
Yep.
had somebody bring me a ground moose meat, and I used that instead of the ground beef one day. I was like, that stuff's so good. Yeah, they brought it from Alaska because the trip it was short enough to where they could risk freezing it and bringing it here. That's why I shit up. It was good, but there's not really a lot of animals here to kill for meat, is there? I mean, there's what island's got the deer on it? It's not.
Molokai,
Yeah.
Lanai. So if you look at the commissary actually sells some of the meat from up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I have to look at that. I remember I'd have buddies that would give me parts of the deer, like ground up beef, and I would eat that when I was in high school and I was bodybuilding and stuff. I loved that. It has a really good taste. And you really don't have to you don't really have to add a lot of stuff to it. It
hmm
tastes good.
People think like, oh, fresh kill and stuff like that is gamey. Actually, it's not. It's freaking
Yeah,
delicious.
it's really good. And the mass production, over processing. We're now starting to see long term what it does. Like I said, I've had people in their 20s with low testosterone, like low, like 230, and you're like
Yeah,
24. Like, dude, you
that's
should be
crazy.
up there.
He
And
should
they're
be
not
at
doing
about
anything bad.
900.
Yeah, they're not doing anything crazy. So, and I'm guilty of this too, but here lately I've seen a trend in the use of nicotine skyrocket. Now that these pouches are out, it's not a messy thing to do anymore.
hmm
And when I have guys compete, I have to make them quit a few weeks out because they'll start holding water, and it
hmm
also acts as a anti aromatase, and it messes with hydration and sodium balance, and it does all this stuff to you that can really mess up how you look. And so I like guys to cut it out 4 to 6 weeks before, and it does make a difference. Like they'll get
Yeah.
better pumps, their food processes better. It makes a difference.
I usually have them as well too, like nicotine, um, these protein drinks, energy drinks, all of that other extra added shit. Like I have them cut it out about 4 weeks out
Yeah.
because you'd be surprised how much inflammation that shit causes to your body.
Now I know from experience. Um,
They're convenient, but they're only temporary. Just cut it out. 4 weeks.
yeah. Um, there was something else I can't remember. I know nicotine was a big one. Energy drinks like to have them cut out too, just for any water retention.
Pre-workouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely pre-workouts, energy drink. Like, yeah.
And plus, you want to have a better baseline of energy going into the contest, not be dependent on stimulants. And because if you cut them out too soon, then you're going to go in there tired. And if you're relying on the stimulants, you're going to go in there nervous, which is going to cause you to, possibly look worse on stage. You need to be just chill and like ready to go. Um, Even with clenbuterol and stuff, I like to cut it out just so they calm down a little bit before they go out there. I think it makes a difference because like you've seen before. If somebody's nervous and they get on stage, you can see it a mile
Mm-hmm.
away, and it doesn't look good. And some people get nervous, start holding water, and
Or because they so amped, they overpose. Like, "Ah."
yeah,
Yeah, and
oh
ruin
yeah.
it too.
So I like cutting all that stuff out beforehand. Think it helps.
I don't know. For me though, like I need like a little bit of like a caffeine or a little bit of something because I notice if I'm too chill for me to get in that mood, like all right, it's stage time. Like I'm not one of those that gets all hypey before stage. That's why.
Well, I mean, but you're talking a cup of coffee that morning
Yeah,
versus two or three monsters or rock stars
yeah,
throughout the
yeah,
day
yeah,
is a big difference.
yeah.
So if they can drink some black coffee that morning, that's fine. Might help them dry out a little bit.
So I'm that person. Like I don't need like for me, I don't need pre-workout to work out. It's just it's a mindset. I don't
I,
know.
I
And I
have
was
better
always like
workouts
that.
when I'm not stimmed out of my mind. I'm not. I have to try harder to focus, and that actually helps me out. So I'd rather not be stimulated before going into a good workout. the heart racing and shit, start shaking, and it just doesn't. I don't like it.
It Going back to this whole hormone thing, especially as we age, and like you don't even need to be in your 30s and 40s. Like you could be in your 20s and your hormones be completely decimated in your 200s. Um, I had a fella that I was helping out. He's mid in his 30s or so, and his he was adamant about wanting to stay natural. Like, I'm gonna do this natural, and I told him, like, bro, you're not making improvements year after year. You still you still look like, uh, you look kind of junk, you know? I really, really advise that you go get your hormones checked, and all of the things that I was telling him prior to he went to Merrick to go get it checked, and then he finally submitted to getting on TRT. When he did, he was just like, shit, was I feeling like shit for so long that I thought that was normal? And
Yeah,
he's
that's what
like,
happens.
yeah, he thought that was normal, feeling like crap, not making gains, not having like a libido, like everything. And as soon as he just started taking a TRT level, he's like, holy crap.
Yeah, if you're debating on being natural or not, it's the difference of being subpar to bringing just back to normal testosterone levels, then you want to compete, at least be at your normal baseline levels,
Yeah.
but and if you want to compete natural and you're at baseline levels, that's fine. But I am going to let you know what you're in store for.
Hmm.
I'm not going to tell you have to do anything, but I will let you know what to expect. I think some of these guys that say, "Oh, I want to do it natural," like they think there's this group of people that's going to praise them for doing. No one fucking cares. It's not like you're going to get off stage with your fourth place medal you did natural. It's like, "Oh my god, you're a real hero." No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
All people are going to do at that concert, like, what the fuck was that walked out on stage? That's what they're there for. They want to see fucking they want to see shit they can't achieve,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's natural shows here for people that want to stay natural and want to do well. I do advise them to do those. I'll train them for that. I like doing that. I like training people naturally because I think it's more of a challenge for me. But if you're going to go into one of the biggest contests of the year on the island and be natural, and it's not like you have this great genetic potential, just an ordinary dude, and you think you're going to go in there and do well, buddy, you're going to have a rude awakening. I'm not, and that's just from what I'm seeing. The fucking almost 15 years I've been doing this. I mean, I'm not going to tell you you have to do this, have to do that, but whatever path you choose, I am going to let you know what to expect.
Yeah.
And no one cares. I don't think anybody cares if you're natural or not. And then, also, these same people will preach that, but then as soon as they get done competing, they'll go out and drink their face off or start drinking every weekend and partying all the time. It's like, dude, some of that shit you're doing is worse than if you just got on a small first beginner cycle and done a contest.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to do it for your health, how about you fucking lead by example and cut out other bullshit you're doing too? That pisses me off.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, I'm worried about my health. And then, in their off season, you're seeing them at the bars and shit on the weekends. It's like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Come on. Don't be like that. Don't be a hypocrite. So that's how I feel about the natural thing. You know.
Unless, like you were saying, unless you're a genetic anomaly, like wanting to compete in these big state shows or even nationals natural just to say, oh, I did it natural. Like, yeah, nobody really cares.
Yeah, because the people that do those contests aren't doing it for the experience. They're doing it to fucking win.
Hmm.
So just keep that in mind. You know, they don't do it so they can have a good experience their first time. They don't do these huge shows for that. They do it because they want to win. So that's what you're going up against. And, and these guys will do anything, whatever it takes. They don't care. They don't care the cost. They don't care the short term harm on the body. Some of these guys don't care about anything at all. They just want to look good and win that trophy. And that's all they care about. And that's what you're going up against, trying to prove to people that aren't there about you doing it natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was when I was scrolling through Instagram earlier today, this morning, Vigorous Steve did like a thing where one of the questions was like, "Hey Steve, when do you think I should do my lipids, check my blood work or whatever? I'm 4 weeks out. I am on 30 milligrams of Anavor and 30 milligrams on Winstrol. and I'm kind of concerned for whatever his enzyme
Yeah,
levels and
yeah,
all of that stuff. And Vigorous Steve was just like, dude, you're here to win. Just it's for 4 weeks. Just take this shit and shut the fuck up.
yeah, yeah. It's not like you're gonna stay on it though your whole life. Just do the contest and come off and heal up. Yeah,
Yeah, your lipids are gonna be whacked for a little while. Get off of the stuff after the competition. You're here to win. Just shut the f up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. I mean, some of that stuff is only temporary. It's not that bad. Um, I've had some blood work during contests where the doctor's like, "Dude, what the hell?" But I bounced back from it. And I'm fine. Um, I hate to say I don't have the genetics for it because I was doing all that and I still small and do well, but at least I know now. At least I know. I mean, shit.
But compared to what? Like, if you went down, maintain you stay that same person you were in what, high school? That the big jed or the military jed compared to exercise, lifting weights and what you are now?
What
I
do you
mean,
mean? What do you mean?
because I saw you posted up on Instagram a bit ago, the fat jed,
Oh
party
yeah,
animal
that
jed,
was that was college Jed. The
college
college Jed that
jed,
didn't go to college because I just was
college
sleeping and
dropout
like
jed.
yeah, that was college dropout Jed.
So
So
see, it could have gone any which way.
and I did natural for a while. About 2 shows in, I was like, the first chance I get, it's like fuck this.
This is dumb.
God, yeah, all the work I did. I wish I'd had invested in a coach back then. That's my big mistake. I'd be better off now. But I have all this knowledge because I'd fucked up so much. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, for as myself as well too. I wish I should have invested in a coach, but I don't know. I don't know. Here I am.
The coaching wasn't as crazy as it was when I got started. You had a few top name coaches, and that was it. Not every bodybuilder was coaching people. It was. This is back before Instagram. Facebook was the only thing we had, and so there wasn't. You had like Rambod, Aceto, Nichols, a few others, and that was it as far as I remember. Not everybody was a bodybuilding coach. You had some local guys here that help out people that they thought would do well, but you didn't have all this access to everybody. So, and now, like I said, once again, with the outreach we have with the internet, everybody can be a coach, everybody can have clients. So it's like, I hardly hear people that don't have one now.
Yeah.
Everybody's got one for everything. It's a little nuts. I think it's getting a little oversaturated. But I mean, there's the thing about the fitness industry is there's always going to be business. I mean, you could have 100 gyms on island and most of them will do okay. There's always going to be clients. There's no reason for trainers to be fucking undercutting each other and doing shady shit. There's plenty of people on this island that want to get trained.
Yeah, and there's so many different type of niche markets in this fitness industry in itself, from lifestyle to competition prep and everything in between, like or even like rehab or like how you train people for other things like marathons and
Yeah,
Ironmans and other sports. So,
I like doing that stuff.
yeah, it's fun. It's a challenge.
The niche thing is how you really grow. You find like one specific group that you can relate to, and then you target your ads towards that. That's what I was taught when I did this little school thing on how to do online training. And I can never do that. I can never find a niche because they said, what kind of clients do you have? And I was like, name it. I've got all kinds of shit. And they're all over the spectrum. Like there's no like 35-year-old single moms that work 2 jobs but want to lose 10 pounds. And it's like, and then you'll find a bunch of people on the internet that fit that category. I can't do that. I don't know what I would target. My clients, like the diversity is ridiculous.
And that's a good thing.
I like that. I like being able to do multiple things. I've had people for the marathon, the 10 man here. I've had guys trying out for the NFL, all the bodybuilding stuff, people with missing limbs that need to learn how to train around it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, that
That
was
was
fun.
wow.
So she was born without the lower part of her arm. And if I remember, she was self conscious about it because she couldn't use those muscles, so it atrophied, right? So I bought. I can't remember what it was called. It's one of the first companies that came out with the cuffs that you could tie to the
Yeah,
machine and
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
I remember that.
So I bought that. And so, like, let's say chest press, she would stand in front of the seated chest press, and we hooked here and took the straps on the handles, and she would just stand up and push forward. Deadlifting, we found a way to rig a chain to it to where she could hold it with one hand, and we tighten the chain to match, and she just stand up and squeeze her back. I got videos of it somewhere. We did all kinds of cool stuff. So for the atrophy, I bought that was back when the TAMS machines were real big. I got one Russian one for like $300. And while she trained this arm, I would zap the other one. Because my theory was if they both think they're getting work, they're going to try to match in size.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember the scientific term. It's like cross nervous communications, whatever, hoopla. But she started seeing a change in that arm because I was shocking it while she would train the other. I'd follow her around Powerhouse Gym, just zapping her with my little box while she was training. And that I always remember that particular person because that was really fun. I remember specifically coming down and being like, I want to do that because some people would say may pass on it because it's a challenge. I'm like, this is your fucking job or career. You should be jumping all over this shit and learning how to do it. So that's my attitude when I took into it. I had fun. It was cool. We did some cool stuff. I should look up some of those videos. 'Cause we got some really cool videos of the stuff we did so that she could train. And the isolator. That's what it was called.
The isolator. Oh, that was way back.
Yeah,
That
way
was
back.
even before Dana Lane Bailey
She was
became
one of the
pro.
people
She was
that was
one of the
sponsored. Yeah.
promoting that. Yeah.
So I
I
measured her
remember.
and I contacted the company and because since her arms were different sizes and stuff, they had to custom make it.
Oh, cool.
And it came with the cuffs, the stuff around the arms, and all the straps and stuff. And we just look at an exercise and we'd figure it out. We did. It was fun. I really enjoyed that. I like doing stuff like that. I like the challenges. So I always remember doing that particular training that particular person. That was fun.
How many years now you got under your belt training people, being a trainer, whatever you want to call it?
13,
Wow.
I think. I started Powerhouse in 2012, 2013. Came here in 19. Yeah, I think it was 19. It was right before COVID.
Do you feel like there's within these 13 years, your style of training has evolved with the knowledge that you accumulated as well too?
Yeah, but I've learned a lot and different stuff. The one thing that always works is just wearing the damn muscle out and being diverse with rep
Yeah.
ranges.
The reason why I ask you this again on social media, on Instagram, I'm on Instagram too much. On Instagram, they have like the glute guru wars, like,
Yeah.
like how they're trying to extrapolate this is a proper way of doing it, and this guy is wrong because he's not whatever. Um, it's very interesting. And I honestly think whether or not you had an opinion from before in comparison to the knowledge that you may acquire later, it's okay to change your mind
Yeah.
and own it. Even though you could just be like, yeah, I thought this way before, but yeah, I changed my mind. I was wrong.
With the whole glute thing, do your basics, your squats and stuff. But if you do some plie squats, there's a certain way I like to do them where it targets the glutes real well. And do some glute raises, like where you're laying face down on the bench, raising your legs up with some weight. Do that twice a week. One day do low reps with some weight. The other day go high rep. You'll be fine. That's plenty. All these crazy elaborate stuff for your butt. It's such a market. Like we
It
have a lot of
is.
shit back here for glutes at this gym.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Actually, honestly, my favorite is that stand up hip thrust. That's the best one.
This one right here, this
Yeah,
little
that's my
machine.
favorite one. I have many different names of that machine from my clients that I won't say on here.
Drop them. I
But
want to hear. Come
there's
on. Come on.
what was it? One person called it the coochie cutter because the way she was built, it pressed down on her. We had to put a pad in there, so that's what she calls it. Um, the adductor machine where you close your legs. I had a girl call it good girls,
Good girls. Yep.
so that's a universal term for it now.
Yeah, and AB Ductor is bad girls.
Yes. But the coochie cutter I just heard a couple weeks ago, I started laughing. I'm like, what are you talking about? Where she pointed at the machine. I was like, oh, okay.
This whole glute building thing, it's been an absolutely fantastic market.
Yeah.
It looks great. Hey, shout out to you women who built them glutes and literally worked your ass on
Yeah.
because it is a thing. And there's
Yeah.
a big difference. What a lot of people don't understand, like, man, there's a big difference between a fat ass, wide ass, and like glutes. Huge difference. Just because you got a big ass, that doesn't mean you fall into the wellness division. Because
Yeah. I've seen some girls that have some body fat on them, so they look like a frog standing up. But once they lose the obliques and lose the fat around there, you can actually see some roundness in the glutes because the way the fat stores, it kind of like blends the top of the butt in with the back. So sometimes you just need to not be fat and you realize you actually got a butt under there. I've seen that a couple times.
I honestly think some man, I'm not to say or to sound like an a-hole, but um a lot of the competitions here for like here in Hawaii for the wellness division, they're missing the mark, especially because it's supposed to be a very glute dominant division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I think a lot of it's genetics too, but I mean, not saying you can't get your glutes bigger, but when you start comparing yourself to other people that just naturally have genetics for glutes, it may be a long shot. I mean, you can work them and get them a little better, bigger and better, but to go from, having a flat ass to having this huge ass like that these girls think they're going to get, I think sometimes it's a reach. It's like, no, you just need to accept that's how you're built. I mean, you can make it a little more aesthetically pleasing for your body type, but for you to be what she is or whoever you're trying to, the body types just don't match. And when you do get the injections and stuff to make it look like that, it looks stupid.
The implants look absolutely
It's like
hideous.
two bowling balls with toothpicks sticking out from underneath.
It
It looks
doesn't work.
stupid.
It doesn't blend and mesh properly the implants. It's ridiculous.
Or the silicone shots and all this stuff I hear people doing. You can see it a mile away when you get it. Like it, I mean, if I can see it and be like, oh, that's totally not real. The attractive qualities you think it has gets diminished. It needs to look like it should be there. And the route some of these people go to get it, it doesn't look like it should be there. It looks way off. 'Cause I don't understand.
Just like the evolution of how fake boobs came about as well too. In the beginning, they were hideous and really obnoxious looking. And some people do still get them obnoxious looking, but if it's if it suits your body size well, then it's not so bad. But a lot of people who's been doing these BBL is just ridiculous.
I think a lot of it's just so people will, even that go outrageous with it to where it's out of control. It's just to get attention. I mean, why else would you do that? These people will do stuff for attention. They get mad when people look at them. Some of the clothes people wear and things they do.
I completely agree with you, and thank goodness for people like Joey Swole and Goob that
Yeah.
busted their bubbles about, like doing things for attention and try to get it on video so they can put that person on blast. Yeah, no.
You're supposed to be in a gym to work out, not do shit like that. I don't know. I think the need for attention has gotten worse since social media's been out.
Speaking of the need for attention and social media and all of that other stuff, coming to the gym to improve yourself and what have you. Um, I not to say that it's a New Year's goal or resolution, but it kind of made a difference coming into this gym today. Someone introduced himself to me. I've never seen him here before, and he was just talking about this podcast, how he appreciated. We talked about random things, but how they all kind of correlate to exercise and life, you know?
Hmm.
So I told him thank you. I introduced myself and asked him, what his name and everything like that. It was a pleasant surprise. And I was like, you know what? I think more people should be keen to that. Like go to the gym, you see the same people or you see people, somebody a familiar face and like you see them quite frequently, but not enough for you to like say hi or make a new friend. I honestly think since what happened in 2020, a lot of people are like just kind of awkward about it. And with social media and text messaging, a lot of people don't have this interaction anymore. I think we honestly should bring it back.
Or they'll DM someone but won't talk to them in person.
Yeah.
How ridiculous is that?
Grow up.
Yeah, this there needs to be more face to face interaction. I've already told a story about going to the concert with no cell phones. That was a wake up call because you were forced. You couldn't just stand like people couldn't be buried in their phones. So it's like shit. I gotta talk to
You
people.
have to be present.
That was so awesome. They need to start taking phones away for all kinds of shit because that was so much fun. I had a blast. So the it's like a fail safe. Like everybody falls back on burying themselves in their phone when they get uncomfortable or don't want to talk or
There's safety
being
blanket.
afraid of social interaction. Then eventually you're going to see social skills take a decline.
It's been.
Yeah,
So
because
that,
kids are growing up like that.
yeah, that's why I'm saying definitely when we're here at the gym, I mean, make friends, say hi. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, especially like a gym like here where I usually tell people after about a month you about know everybody. That's the type of gym it is. You eventually got to start talking to people. There's a time and place, like not mid set or something, but be cordial. Don't I see a lot of people, I clients tell me things when I train them. You know how it is. They'll get DM'd and stuff, and then that person will come to the gym and walk right by them, and it's like, what? To me, it's kind of creepy. You'll text them and DM them, but you won't say hi in person. It just makes you look like a wuss, really.
Now you made the whole situation awkward.
Yeah, I was like, oh, do you got someone here you don't want to see you talking to me? Is like there's all kinds of questions that come up. That's really weird. It's social interaction, yeah, it's I think it's went downhill a little bit, and it's one of those things that the conveniences of the internet and technology is like taken away from us is the ability to socially interact and do things. Like the and I don't know, yeah, it's just it's definitely affected it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, I mean, like, I challenge all of you guys to go out there and be a little bit more friendly and start a little bit more of your social skills, especially since what happened from 2020 and, that social distancing and all of that bullshit. Man, that fucked up a lot of people in the head.
We know what I do when I travel. I I've noticed when I travel, I don't say I'm friendlier, but I talk to everybody. And then, someone that knows me, like, why are you being so like, because these people are never going to see me. If I say something stupid, they're never going to fucking see me again. So I just see it as a free for all,
Yeah.
you know? And plus, being in the South, everybody's generally nice and
Hmm.
talkative anyway. So that's natural there. Like, you'll be lost somewhere and somebody that doesn't know you will come out of the way to help you get where you're going. That's just the type of people that are there. But yeah, when I travel somewhere, I talk to everybody. It's like, oh, this person's mad. That's fine. I get on this plane, you'll never see me again. So I don't give a shit. When you have that attitude, I think it's easier to interact. So practice it when you travel. I think it's more fun, honestly.
It was weird for me in the beginning. I mean, even just the little things, um, asking a person, like, when you're loading in the elevator, hey, what floor? And then,
Yeah.
you just be a little courteous to them. And next thing you know, you're striking up conversation. And on the way out the elevator, they're like, hey, okay, have a good one. It's like, all right. But then,
What was that? I was at a Metallica Pantera concert, and this is in North Carolina, so like everybody's already friendly as shit, right? And we're in line to go to the men's room, and it lines out the wall,
yeah,
and
yeah.
there's nobody in the women's room, and this drunk ass redneck motherfucker, cool guy. He looks at me, he's like, you know what, bud? I said, what? He goes, is this 2024? I might just put a wig on, go in that women's bathroom. Y'all can't say shit because there was
Yeah.
nobody in the women's bathroom. I started cracking up. I was like, "God, it's funny." But you'll get that. You'll be in line and people will just start talking to you and
Random.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
North Carolina is a really really cool place. So most of my life I've spent in Hawaii. I'm glad to say I'm from North Carolina, but I've lived 17 years now, 18 years now here. That's crazy. I've never been in one place that long
Yeah.
ever.
You never thought you'd grow roots here, huh?
Yeah, I was here before the rail almost.
Jeez.
Yeah, the
And look at that
reaction
shit.
that
They're
you can tell it's
fucking,
local. When I say that, it was good lord. That's how long it's been.
and that rails never got that far,
It will
too. I
not get
mean,
done.
shit,
They're saying
over
it's
these
going to
past
take
17 years.
5 years just to get past Dillingham here.
Yeah.
They can't
Mm.
fix the roads. But they got money for that shit.
They got money for all kinds of other stuff, but things that we need here. We're not going to talk about Hawaii
Yeah,
politics because it's messed up here.
yeah. But
Oh God.
yeah, no, there needs to be more of that, more interaction. That's how you get experience. That's how you learn how to cooperate with people. That's how you learn to compromise. That's how you learn to get along. And it builds confidence. If you can just go talk to a stranger and get in a good conversation, that builds your confidence up. A lot of these people are so scared and timid and insecure to do anything because it's not in their phone. It really, it's like they won't even go to Starbucks to get their coffee. They'll just order it online. Like, dude, just fucking, you need to get out of the house and go do shit. All this, well, I just order my groceries. They put it in my car. I never have to leave my car. That's a fucking problem. You need to go in there and deal with people getting in your way and deal with having to talk to people and do all this stuff. It builds character.
Not only builds character, but meeting people as well too. You just never know who you're gonna meet. It might be the next person that you supposed to have met to take you to that next level. They might have, I'm not saying to use people, but you never know who you're gonna meet that might open up a different door of opportunity on your way to wherever you're supposed to go on your journey.
Speaking of that, do you know how many people I've met being a trainer that have either helped me out in a clutch or just happened to have the knowledge I needed for something I was in, or just happened to have something I needed at that time and didn't want to use. I all kinds of crazy shit. Crazy. Like, hey, I'm going to Vegas next week. Oh, my cousin has Toro, so he'll get this, he'll give you a deal and I'll hit him up. Just stuff like that all the time. Being a trainer, you're forced to talk to people, you get network. Next thing you know, any kind of situation you're in, you can call someone and they'll have an answer. And that's from interacting with people.
Yep.
I've had that happen to me a lot.
What's crazy is I was just having this conversation with an older lady. Her and her husband is very well endowed. And
Yeah.
she was like, girl, I'll tell you what, my whole life, there's a few things that someone else told her that you should keep people around you: a good accountant, a good mechanic, a good HVAC, a good plumber, a good like construction worker,
Yeah.
contractor, a good personal trainer, nutritionist, and a good doctor. And she went down like the rabbit holes of things and for the reasons why. And I was like, especially that good accountant. We're like kind of laughing about it. But yeah, those people are clutch to
Yeah.
have in your life. That's exactly good reasons why you should get to know people because you just never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just glad I have a small handful of people that like if there's a question that may arise that I need something from, I know a guy. That's just my friend. So yeah.
I'm glad I came from an era where it was like in the middle of everything. I think me and Mark have talked about this before internet and all this stuff. And then, so we get to experience all the new technologies and stuff coming out, but we do know what it's like to not have them. So we still have those qualities that we think are necessary. So I'm very happy that I lived in the time frame that I've been alive because I know what it's like to not have internet. I know what it's like to not have a phone. I know what it's like to have to use a payphone. I know what it's like to have to remember directions because I remember when MapQuest just
Oh
came out and we
shit.
had to print that shit out and put it on the dash and look and
Yeah.
like flip pages while we're driving. I remember we didn't have that. I used to, when I was a kid, I'd have to read a freaking atlas while my dad drove. And I'm sitting here like 10 years old, not knowing shit, having to figure out how to tell my dad where to go on an atlas.
Oh, I remember that. You go to like so we went on a family vacation to Arizona because my oldest sister was graduating way back when. And the way that they used to make maps, so they would make it for a specific area. Then by the time you get to the next gas station, you buy the next map for that next area. I remember going through Arizona and my mom and dad arguing over where the fuck we should be going. I thought that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. I remember having to do that. We were driving through that little shithole armpit, like Louisiana, Mississippi, where it's all humid as shit.
Yeah.
We were driving through there, and I was only like, I want to say 11, maybe at best. I'm in the passenger seat. My dad's like getting mad at me because I don't know how to read a freaking atlas. I'm like, what the fuck? Like the big books, and
Yeah.
you got to find the section of the state and then look at. I remember one time I said, turn around on the blue road. Blue road? What the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, the highway, because they're all blue in there. I told him to turn around on the blue road. He's just like, it's like, pull over, give me that shit.
Wanted to backhand you right there, huh?
Yeah,
Stupid.
that was before internet. God,
Could you imagine now if there was like some big EMP and everything electronic got wiped out?
be hilarious.
It would be hilarious. I hope you guys got lots of gun enamel
I'll
and
be eating
yeah,
MREs in my place while everybody's
MREs,
freaking out.
water.
Yeah,
I hope you guys know how to survive.
I got a bunch of MREs in the
This
house.
young generation, this new generation, I think they're gonna suffer really bad.
Having to start a fire. I have a little fire starter kit that you said all magnesium, whatever it is, sticks. And you
Hmm.
strike. I bought all that stuff. I got boxes of MREs. Not going to say how I got them, but I do have them.
With the way that the world's heating up after what happened just what today, this morning, I mean, you never know. I don't know. I think we're still in uncharted territory. So everybody, mind your p's and q's.
I don't know if the
Saying,
power outage thing will happen, but if it did, you'll know who the old school guys are real quick. They'll be left standing.
yeah.
You know, like I said, I remember having I'd meet up with my buddies, and I would always leave early and wait somewhere, and then I would just use the payphone to call to see if we were ready to go. And I used to have to do all that shit. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 19 because my dad's like, "You want one? Go get one." So I had to get a job and go do all that shit. And it was the fucking flip phones where you had to press a button 3 times to get a letter and do all that
Oh
shit.
shit. Yeah, I remember.
I got real good at texting that way.
Nokia.
Yeah. All you had was Snake to play on there. That was it. Those things were very durable.
Mm-hmm.
But I shoot, my stepmom had a bag phone in her Subaru
Oh
Forester.
shit.
It came with a bag car phone
Yeah.
that cost a lot to use. We'd call her on it and piss her off because it'd run the phone bill up. I was like, but yeah, I remember we had those. I feel like I'm old as shit. I'm at the point now where I'll mention certain movies that are classics that you think everybody would know and nobody's ever seen it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like that's there. I can't remember something the other day I mentioned, and the person didn't know what I was talking about, and I was like, that's how you know how old I am. That happens to me a lot when I mention certain movies or like because MTV just shut down, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about how they used to only have like two TV shows. The rest was music videos. It was like singled
That's when
out.
it was awesome.
It was singled out, Beavis and Butthead, and I think they had like the cartoons like Eon Flux and stuff at night, right? And then people don't remember this stuff. You didn't go to Vivo channel on YouTube or whatever. You had to go on MTV to watch the music videos.
If you're thinking you're old and starting to feel like that, I'm a lot older than you are. So
Not much, a few years. I turned 43 this year. But I'm trying to think of what that was the other day where I kind of lost my shit because it made me feel old. I cannot remember. Because I train a lot of guys in their 20s and 30s, and it's crazy the stuff they haven't seen. I'm also from a real middle of nowhere part of the South, so that had something to do with being behind everybody technologically, I think. Because, I mean, I remember when we first got internet, it was so much slower than everybody else's. Then we finally got DSL hookup, and over time it grew. But we were always like the last area to get it. Like, I remember not too long ago, my grandma's house, there wasn't a cell phone tower nearby. So I went to see my grandma. My phone would be, you couldn't reach me.
hmm
I'd have to drive to the end of the freaking road, like
Oh shit.
5, 6, 10 minutes. Or,
Just to get
yeah,
reception.
probably like 5 minutes down the road before the reception would kick back on.
Shit.
I'd start getting all these texts.
You know what's crazy? So like yeah, the holidays just happened and everything, like how we're talking about having conversations and not hiding behind your phones and stuff like that. Somebody asked me as well, "Yo, how was your holiday?" and whatever. I mean, didn't have much of a holiday. Like we didn't celebrate huge. We didn't go
Yeah.
big or whatever have you. But I was just having this conversation with my sister, and we are like, yeah, we really don't have like those big holiday traditions and stuff like that. But what we did have as a family growing up, I mean, even though I come from a divorced parents and stuff,
Yeah,
like
me
for
too.
as long as we were together, whoever was at that time, and that's probably one core thing that we've maintained was like eating dinner together, having conversation instead of
Yeah,
hiding behind like the TV or our phones or whatever, and just like really asking and engaging, like how are you?
yeah,
A lot of people keep it like, it's another day, just work is work or whatever. And like, no, like really, how are you?
yeah.
And a lot of people we're missing that, like that engagement, like having those deep, meaningful conversations instead of super surface and superficial I hate that type of shit.
If I'm going out to eat with people, face down on the table. Like if I'm gonna eat and be buried in my phone talking to this person, I might as well be at the house.
Yeah.
Like so, but I was trying to think if we do anything traditionally, and usually not. I'm always gone. I go home for Christmas sometimes, but it's everybody's got their own thing. So I got both sides of the family. They don't talk to each other, so I got to go back and forth. I'm the oddball.
Like for me, if I have to pretend at a party, I probably won't go. I
Mhm.
I don't know.
Or you just go and just don't pretend.
Yeah,
Be like, I
or
don't
that
like you.
too.
At least they
I
know.
wish I wish more people were honest like that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Even towards me, I wish people would be honest like that. Because if there's something I did to ignore and make somebody, if I did something wrong, you're not going to let me know by being fake nice and being passive aggressive. Like, just say, hey, don't fucking do that. All right, cool. It's over. But people hold on to shit. They can't do that. And then the next minute go back to being cool.
yeah.
They want to stay mad and hold on to that stuff, which I used to do a lot before all the psychedelic shit. And people hold on to it forever and hold grudges. It's just a waste of time. I think holding grudges is a waste of time.
Speaking of psychedelics,
Okay.
um, I know a lot of people use psilocybin to microdose, and or other people use marijuana to you do a little before working out, and it gives them like that they it puts them in the zone. How do you feel about using that kind of stuff prior to your workouts or during or like what have you?
I wouldn't. Well, the microdose thing is like if you do it, you're always going to feel the calming effects of it and stuff. So it's not like a pre workout. You just take it as you should. And then, when your workout comes around, you're just in a better mood. The marijuana, guys here, there's some guys here that get high as fuck. I don't know how, because I go into vertigo and I have to crawl in a corner when I smoke weed. It messes me up.
Me
I
too,
don't do
yeah.
it. These guys get blazed and come in here and have the best workouts. I'm like, how in the hell can you do that? I mean, if the results are there and everything's looking good, go for it, dude. But I can't do that. I can't drive. I can't do anything when I'm high. I have to sit at home. It's some of the gummies aren't so bad. Like I take them to sleep. Very occasionally, like maybe once a month, I might take one to go to bed. But smoking it, oh god, fucks me up. I get bad vertigo. My head starts spinning. I can't. I just gotta lay down, so I can't do it. But I mean, people do it and it helps you have a better workout and everything's working. If the results are there, don't deny it. Go for it within the law, I guess you could say.
I've noticed that more and more frequently now. I hear of people doing a lot of psilocybin, microdosing psilocybin, and it's been helping them put them in a better headspace to work out or like whatever. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. It's
Because you're
cool.
not holding on to the small shit when you do it. I've noticed a lot of little things that make people mad, which is like irrelevant stuff, little triggers, are better when you do microdose it. So if you're not in the back of your head thinking all this shit pissing you off of what he says, she said, and you're working out, of course you're gonna have a better workout. So I can understand that. I think that's the future for mental health, chilling people out, PTSD. I think psychedelics are going to be the future for that stuff, honestly.
I absolutely agree with you. So there's so much research and studies are being done with different type of psychedelics that have been beneficial for people with PTSD. So, you know, away from all of these like Western medicines and more towards,
Synthesized medicines.
hmm
I want to see Ibogaine make a big leap.
I think it has its place as well
If
too.
I if I had the if I could afford it, I would like to go do a treatment just to see if it worked and what it was like. That's like a one shot reset,
Yes, absolutely.
and I've heard really good things about it. I think the first time you use it, it has like an 88% success rate, and then if it doesn't work the first time, the second time it's like 98% going to work. So that's what I heard somebody say was an expert on it. The thing is, it's like you go to a resort, it's like 7 grand to do the whole thing with the flight and everything. It's like, good God, man. I mean, yeah, if it worked and it reset everything, it would be worth it. But just to like throw 7 grand at something like that right now, I couldn't do that.
Not right now. I mean, definitely if I had the funds to do so, I would definitely do a ibogaine retreat or even a ayahuasca, couple of
I
ayahuasca
want to go to
retreats.
another country and do the ayahuasca one more time.
Yeah,
The first time I did it, the circumstance were a little situation was a little different. It did help, but my body wasn't in the. It was too depleted. I just got done dieting hard. My hormones were messed up, and I do think that made it not work as well. But the first night, they had to give me extra the first night because I wouldn't go under. And the second night I did it, and like within 20 minutes, I'm like, I'm done. It's like, that's like a
Oh,
four.
wow.
Yeah, I was out of it. So, and they wouldn't bump the dose up the second time. But that first night they gave me extra, and I was going ape shit all over the place, all over the ground, and they had to come do some stuff to me, calm me down, and everything because they said I was just rolling all over the floor, saying all kinds of stuff.
It's crazy. Like I am very interested in doing going off like the deep end and that kind of stuff, ibogaine and ayahuasca and all of that other good stuff, peyote, all of it, all of it. And people are so judgmental and be like, "Oh my God, you want to do that stuff?"
Well,
But you go ahead and fucking drink and get shit faced over New Year's Eve, and you're calling that. It's
starting the psychedelic that year while I was in the psychedelics, they got me going back to church. That's what started the path of events that led me to going back to church. So I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing.
yeah.
And it did help. You have to go in with the mindset of wanting help. You have to go in with the mindset of you're ready to face your flaws and fears. You can't be scared, and you have to say, okay, whatever's wrong with me, whatever's going ahead, throw it at me. Let's get this done. If you go in with that attitude, you will come out with stuff that you can take out in the real world to become a better person. But you can't do it to trip. You can't do it because you want to feel good. You have to do it because you're trying to find answers. And you got to have in your head what questions you have that you need the answers to. And if you go in with that mindset and you submit to it, you can't fight it. You will get your answers.
The other part of that a lot of people are missing is when you do have your epiphany, moment of epiphany and your revelations, your answers or whatever, what have you, um, reintegrating that back into reality, your real life in flesh, taking those lessons and actually putting into practicality, that's the hard part that a lot of people miss. And then they just keep on taking more psychedelics over and over. And then at that point, you're just doing it for escapism. Yeah, you're just a druggie.
Yeah, I could tell you some stories not on here about going back into certain environments, the same stuff happening and seeing it completely different and being like, oh, that's why that person acts like that. Oh, that's why this is over there. And it like takes the mask off of stuff. You see it unfiltered, I think. And you start seeing things differently, you know. It's like you go through social media and you see certain posts and then you go back and look at those same posts after you go, oh, this is why that person posted this. It's not because of what they said, but it's because they're A, B, and C.
Hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. But you'll see shit differently. And for some of these things, you'll see it for the real reason why they're there. And that's some people that's hard to grasp.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not something that you do regularly or abuse because at that point, if that's the case, if you're doing it for escapism purposes, you're just a freaking druggie.
Yeah. All right, I've really got to pee. We're an hour in.
All
You want to keep
right.
going?
No, we're good.
Not to piss my pants.
Well, other than that, I don't know how that correlates to working out, but thanks everybody for joining us on
Like, share,
this.
subscribe, all that
Yeah,
stuff. Comment questions, do all that good stuff. Help us out.
definitely, and we'll see you again on another podcast of Paradise Pump.